You took RJ out early in the second half. You said he had cramps. Game kind of flipped at that point. I think you guys were 4 or 5.
6. I think it was 6.
It just didn't seem like you guys regained anything offensively after that point. What did you see?
Yeah, I thought, I think we were up 6. Wanted to give RJ a break. I just, he was giving a lot of effort out there, and I wanted to give him a break, and he needed one. And during that stretch, I felt like offensively, just couldn't get to the basket. I felt like we took some quick jump shots, and long shots led to long rebounds, and they were able to get out in transition. But I agree with you. I thought that was a key stretch. We were up by 6, and by the time RJ and got back into the game, I think we were tied or down by 2, and so that was a very important stretch in the second half.
Hubert, can you speak to just the margin of error in this game? I mean, I felt like the defensive intensity from your team was really impressive, but yet any little lapse, all of a sudden Duke was back in the lead again.
Well, no, I thought our energy, our effort was on point. I felt like defensively, our pressure, especially on the ball, either sped them up or created turnovers, and we forced them into 14 turnovers. Just wasn't able to sustain that midway through the second half towards the end of the game. Kept going back. I think in the first half, Duke was up, was it 13 or 14, 15, and then we caught back up, and then we took the lead, and then they caught back up, and it was just a really high energy, competitive game out there.
I guess what was to go off of that, the challenge of, containing Duke from you guys from a defensive standpoint, as, shots may not going on your end and Duke kind of gets in the run that they do. What's the challenge of, containing them and kind of quelling their run, if that makes sense?
Well, I felt like, I thought Malik Brown was a huge key. I thought him defensively, he's their best defensive big. I know they have others that can block and alter shots, but his ability to guard on a perimeter, guard in a post, defend without fouling, get steals and deflections is at an elite level. So I think them getting him back in the lineup really helped. And then I think prior to today, he had only hit 2 threes, and he hit 2 threes today. And so that hurt too. And so I felt like how many minutes he played, almost 16 minutes. I thought those were really impactful for them.
Hubert, what would you say, in your opinion, are the keys to not allowing this loss to stop the positive momentum that you all have built over the second half of the conference season here, to not let it, sort of steer you the wrong way going into Charlotte? Yeah,
after in the locker room, and this is the same message that I've given before, you really you're only in control of really 2 things: how do you react and how you respond. I've been proud of how this group, this team has reacted and responded all year, specifically over the last month, them staying connected and staying the course. And I don't think that's going to change at all. We'll regroup and be ready to go in our preparation, our practice, and our play will be on point on Wednesday when we play.
Were any missed opportunities at all trying to go at Flag in the second half and get a 4th foul on him, or get easy baskets if he was going to back on?
No, we weren't specifically trying to get a 4th foul on him. For us to be successful, we have to attack the paint and try to dominate points in the paint through post penetration, offensive rebounding. We didn't do as good a job offensive rebounding today. When we got into the lane, that's where we generate drawing defenders, then being able to pass it out and shoot wide open threes. We weren't able to do that. That's something over the last month that I think we've been really good at, and it's contributed to us shooting the ball really well from 3. They're long, they're athletic, and I think that really bothered us. And they're long and athletic, and not just 1 or 2 positions at all 5. And I felt like their length and their physicality at times wore us down in the second half, and as a result, we really struggled offensively.
How much was heightening the physical piece of it part of the game plan today versus the first meeting?
Well, it was definitely an emphasis of pressuring the ball, and I thought we did a really good job of that. Whomever had the ball, I felt like we were in their space and making it tough on them to connect the dots in regards to how they're trying to execute on the offensive end. And as I said before, I think that helped us, resulting in turning them over 14 times today. And so I thought that was good. That was something that we talked about, and it was an emphasis going into this game.
Couple more. To Pat's point, you guys did draw 3 fouls on Cooper, and once he had that third one, you guys took off. I think it was a 10-2 run to end the first half going into halftime. Were you more satisfied with the way you guys defended him and tried to sort of limit his effectiveness?
Yeah, I do. I thought, I mean, he's, there's a good chance he's going to be player of the year. I mean, he's an elite player, and I thought defensively we guarded him well in regards to making his catches and making his points tough. And I thought we did a really good job of that. Well, we kept him off the free throw line. And so, yeah, I thought we did a good job against him. But it's more than just Cooper. That's why they're a good basketball team, because they've got a number of parts that step up and consistently make good plays.
Anybody else? Hubert, going into what's your guys' motivation, going into the ACC tournament? Because as your player said in post-game interviews, you guys are perfectly capable of making a deep run and getting deeper into March.
Well, the motivation is always there. I mean, if you don't have motivation for having an opportunity to compete and play, then I just don't think you should be playing. The opportunity to play in the ACC tournament is a great opportunity, and we're excited about the challenge of going up to Charlotte and competing and doing the best that we can.
Last one, Adam. Hubert, will you approach the ACC tournament like you have to win the whole thing to get in the NCAA tournament? Will that be the mindset?
No, you guys know me. I don't look at. I've never looked at it that way. I think it's most important to focus on what is real, and what is real is the game in front of you. And we play on Wednesday, and our job and our responsibility is whomever we play to be prepared to play our best game on Wednesday. And if we play well enough and we get to play on Thursday, then our preparation will be focused on that. I think you control what you can control, and what we can control is our play and our preparation for next week on Wednesday in the ACC tournament.
Thanks, Coach. Thanks, everybody.